Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and it is time for a daily thought. I haven't done one in a while. Also, I hope everyone enjoyed are enjoying the August tarot readings. Those are already up. At least the general readings are. I plan on working on the love readings, hopefully this coming weekend, but the August general readings for all the signs are already up on the channel and on the podcast. Speaking of the podcast, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. And I think I'm doing the new moon in Leo reading this weekend too, I think. And so we shall see with that, because the new moon in Leo is coming up, and it's kind of interesting because I kind of already have a title in my head of what I want to call it, and it sort of relates to this daily thought. And the daily thought is about a song which was originally by Leanne Womack, and it's called I Hope You Dance. Now, obviously most things in life are subjective. In my humble opinion, and it's just that, an opinion, the best version of the song is by Gladys Knight. If you have not heard Gladys Knight's version of the song, I strongly recommend you listen to Gladys Knight's version of the song. What I want to do, because I have to, for those watching me on video, I have to look off to my right because the lyrics are to my right. I want to read the lyrics and then I want to discuss, because this song has been on my spirit so much over the past, I probably say 2 weeks. It's just really been on my spirit, and I've been listening to it a lot. So yeah, so the lyrics are, I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. And then, of course, it goes into the chorus. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let a hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the chance or the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. And then it goes into the I hope you dance chorus. And then this time around, it starts saying, time is a wheel in constant motion, always rolling us along. Tell me who wants to look back on their years and wonder where those years have gone. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. And really, the long story short of this is about taking chances. But one thing that really sticks in my mind when I hear the song is that, don't fear those mountains in the distance. Don't settle for the path of least resistance. I feel like some people, they would rather do everything with with as little resistance as possible. And I've said it before in my tarot readings. I've said it even in daily thoughts and stuff. And I remember when I first heard it, I heard it off of the True Water Vibes, I believe was her channel. And one thing that she was talking about was comfort and growth are not friends. And I've always brought that up since then. Because if you're constantly comfortable, it's harder for you to grow because you're in your comfort zone. And for people, when they see that there might be a hard road ahead because they see the mountains in the distance, they're like, oh no, let me get on this trail. There aren't any mountains over here. It's flat land. I can just walk. I don't have to climb anything. I don't have to worry about crazy temperatures, less oxygen, and other stuff. It's another thing that's funny. I remember Gary Vee has said, everyone wants to go to the top. Everyone wants to climb Mount Everest. But he said, what people don't realize is that the higher you go up, the less oxygen there is available. And stuff. And he's saying, like, people want to do this, but do they know what comes with the territory? And that's what I tell people, like, don't be afraid to take a chance. Don't be afraid to do something that you haven't done before. And also, don't minimize yourself just to help other people feel secure. And don't let people minimize you just so they can feel secure. Sometimes there's a path. The thing about timelines is everyone has a timeline. And from their timeline, there's all of these other timelines. It's really crazy. You have all these individuals who have timelines. But what you don't realize is that within one individual, there's an infinite number of timelines connected to them that could cross another individual with an infinite number of timelines connected to them from their one timeline. Because what it's based off of, and I know I might be going out in left field for some of you, just stay with me here. What it's based off of is the decisions that you make. All of us have free will. And our free will, I'll give you an example. I could get up and walk away right now from recording this. And I could go to the bathroom and start brushing my teeth. Or I could go into the kitchen and start making breakfast. Or I could take some water, which I'm going to do as well. Which now that I've taken this sip of water, this just became part of the timeline that I'm on. All right. There's so many possibilities. I say that to say this. When you're making a decision to dance, there may be a situation where the decision that you're making, the timeline that you're creating and going on, the road that you're going on, has to cross somebody else's timeline to get them to grow too. So your growth sometimes might be tied to someone else's growth because you're stepping out of your comfort zone, because you're doing something different. You may end up crossing someone else's timeline that also forces them to grow or either inspires them to grow. So there's so many things that are connected, and there's so many opportunities out there for you. Don't let people tell you that you don't have opportunity. There's opportunity everywhere. There will always be opportunity everywhere. Will some people have more opportunities than others? Yes. Not everyone's going to have the same opportunities because it's based off of personality, it's based off of skill set, it's based off of sacred plans, divine timing, and a ton of other things. However, everyone has many opportunities before them. It's just a point of what decisions are they making to take advantage of those opportunities or to get to those opportunities. That's the question of the day. But for this, you can't take advantage of those opportunities. You can't take advantage of what has been purposed for you unless you're willing to dance. And that's what that song is about when it's saying, I hope you dance. I hope that you take a chance. Really, it should be titled, I hope you take a chance. And you could really title that song that, and it would still lyrically work out fine in tempo and everything. Instead, I hope you dance, I hope you take a chance. That's what it is. I hope that you take a chance. There have been things in my life that I've done. Some people were like, why are you doing that? I was like, well, I don't know. I just want to try it and see. Never would have thought it would have brought what it brought to my life. Some people say to me, and this is not a flex, some people say to me, hey, you happen to know a lot. And I'm like, well, that's because I've done different things. My life, I've experimented with different stuff. And really, no matter how much we know, and yes, I'll tell you, I'm a know-it-all. I am. But I also know that I don't know anything, too. I believe it was Socrates had said something to the effect of the wisdom, when it comes to wisdom or whatever, you have to look up Socrates. I'm pretty sure it was Socrates who said it. That everyone should realize that they really know nothing. And that's sort of what it is. I might know a lot compared to someone else. But really, in the grand scheme of things, the grand scheme of the universe and everything else, none of us know anything. We really don't. So yeah. But it's just, I learned the things I learned by dancing. That's what I did. I decided to dance. I remember when I started my travel agency, when I had that, I didn't actually want to start the travel agency, believe it or not. It just so happens that my supervisor at Royal Caribbean, my old stomping ground, when I was leaving Royal Caribbean, she had said to me, she's like, you want to start your own travel agency? I was like, I don't really want to do that. I was like, I don't know if I know enough that she's like, you work for Royal Caribbean. you know how what the ships do and everything else. She's like, just go ahead and give it a chance. And you know what? That was one of the best experiences of my life. I ended up starting a travel agency. I had it varied from time to time because people would come and go. Because again, usually people were doing it in their part-time and stuff, but I had like 14 to 16 people working for me, for my agency. And I also met a lot of awesome people that booked with my agency as well when I owned my travel agency. I later, because I didn't want to do the travel agency thing anymore, I turned it into a public relations firm. So I did public relations for a little while. I did public relations for an up-and-coming gospel artist. And I did public relations on the side for other people too. I actually got one of my friends in the paper, and he was super, super happy about that. And just little side things. Didn't know much about public relations, but I'm the type of person, if I don't know something, I'll look it up. I mean, Google is for free. So that's it. I did my thing with that. And there are a ton of other things in life that I've done that it's like, wow, okay. And that goes back to when people are saying, well, okay, you seem to know certain things. Yeah, because I danced. That's the whole point. I wouldn't have known the things, or I wouldn't know the things I know. And same thing with you who are watching this or who are listening to this on the podcast. I bet you if you sat down and really, really thought about it and were like, all the things I've learned, what would you have not learned had you not got up and danced, had you not got up and taken a chance, had you not got up and said, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try. I don't know anything about it now, but I'll give this a try and see what happens. That's what this is about. This is about taking a chance is the main thing, but also wrapped up in this is also about self-esteem too. It's about ego. It's about believing in yourself. Healthy ego. It's about believing in yourself. It's about believing that you can do it. In worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, at least you learned something different. You learned how not to do it. And then maybe you learn some things that you can take with you along the way. But the point is that you wouldn't have learned anything if you didn't dance at all. So you have to dance because the years go by. I remember a friend of the family, I was talking to her, and she's older than me. And this was when I was in high school. And I had said to her something about age. We were talking about age, and then she said, yeah, she's like, enjoy this time while you can, is what she told me in high school. Because she said, your 20s are gonna fly by. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, they're gonna fly by. And sure enough, she was right. Because here I am. And I don't even, the 20s are a blur. I mean, obviously I remember stuff that happened in my 20s. But I mean, it's like, where did it go? Where did the 30s go? Because, those of you who follow my podcast, I just turned 43 a few weeks ago. So time goes by. And when I look back over my 43 years and the things that I've done, when I randomly just decided to move to Miami, when my mother was like, oh my God, I can't even talk to you right now. But had I not randomly decided to move to Miami while I was down there, for those of you who don't know, my new listeners, my car had broke down. My transmission had went out. And instead of me just getting the car fixed, I was just like, since I kind of already knew some people in Miami, I was like, well, let me just move here. And that's what I did. And I called my parents and I was like, hey mom, hey dad, I moved to Miami. And my mother was like, talk to your dad. She didn't even want to talk to me. But had I not done that, guess what? Remember when I was talking about Royal Caribbean earlier? Guess where I got the job at? Royal Caribbean. So, and if I had not got that job at Royal Caribbean, I more than likely would not have started my own travel agency. Do you see what I'm saying? All of these timelines and all of these things, if I chose not to dance, if I just would have, been like, oh, mom, dad, send me the money so I can fix my car, or either just send me a ticket so I can come home and and then I would have just went on life as usual. But I was like, no, I'm in Miami. Let me just see what happens. So that's why I'm doing this. I hope that you dance. I hope that you take a chance. I hope that you believe in yourself. Because there's no telling what could happen. And that is my daily thought. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.